Okay, thank you. How about Olivia? What'd you do over break, Olivia? Nice. Leslie, hello. Ooh, tamales and golfing. I think I'd get along really well with your family. I got a neighbor just down the street. She makes tamales. I don't know if you watch. Not that I'm advocating, not opening up a business without the proper permits, but she makes good tamales. She sells them at the Walmart. But I get them for free. Well, good. I'm nice. Hi, James. And played a couple of rounds of golf myself over break, although I didn't do too well. I seem to have gotten sick again. I'm going through cough drops like you and Louise. Okay. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Those were good. Those were the best ones. Whenever we go for tacos, we go for over at the Riverside near the 10 freeway. There's a big lot. Yeah, we go there. There's maybe someone pulled up with tacos and stuff. Okay, so let's get started before you guys get me too far off track. Okay, today we're gonna kind of review and break down assessing evidence that supports an author's argument. Now, here's our this is our standard right here that we're looking at. Now, the reason we put, I think I'm going to include this on the next lesson. The reason we put the standards are what we're teaching you. And the standards, they more or less go by level. Ninth grade through high school, we're expecting you guys to learn how to write a little bit better. Hi, Raven. Organize your essays, maybe write a little bit longer. It explains everything in the standards. Someday, if you guys want to take a look at the standards, just let us know. It's not a bad idea, actually, because it kind of explains why we do the things we do. And that usually makes it a little bit easier to do the work when you find out, oh, they're teaching me to do this, and it'll be better with me later on in life. Okay, uh-oh, did I go for my camera again? Okay, let me switch cameras. Okay. I don't like this camera as much, but it's working, so let me turn off this light. Oh, that's annoying. Okay. So what the standard says for today is cite strong and thorough textual evidence to support analysis of what the text says explicitly, as well as inferences drawn from the text. Now we have to break that down a little bit. I want to make sure you guys understand what we're doing when we're citing, looking for evidence, okay? Okay. Oh, actually, that's not a bad idea. Okay, yeah, I think that's a good idea. Thank you, Dolly. Hold on a second. Okay, so here we go. Let's start taking a look at what it actually means when we're citing evidence. And we're supporting on arguments or the author's argument, what he's saying and how he's supporting it. I just swallowed the cough drop. Hi, Shayla. Oh, I feel like this is turning into a comedy act. Oh, that hurt. All right, so now you guys saw this before. We went over this a few weeks ago, and this tells us a little bit about evidence. Okay, the AAA test of evidence argument the internet is causing student grades to drop. Okay, so let's say this is the statement I'm making. I'm saying the internet is causing student grades to drop. And you guys have seen this before. Hi, Kyler. This is before. We're going to review it, and then we're going to break this down just a little bit to more understandable extent. So, here's accurate evidence. This is an example of accurate evidence. Evidence comes from a reliable source. It's accurate evidence can be just statistics, studies, or facts from a reliable source. A Harvard study found that 69% of parents stated their child's internet use has caused their grades to drop. So here's an accurate source. They're quoting a Harvard study. Now remember what we said before when we were looking at sources. When you're looking at a study or an article that you're going to cite as a source, we want it to be a good source, a reliable source. That means a source where an author puts his name down. He adds his name to the article. It's dated, so we know when that article was written. It's up-to-date information. Okay. Inaccurate evidence comes from an unreliable source. My friend Frank told me his grades gone up because he uses the internet often. Okay, this is an unreliable source because this is just Frank telling us what he's been doing. It doesn't tell us what's true for everybody. This is only for Frank. And we want to know, is the internet helping or not helping everybody in general? So it has to be accurate, and it has to apply to the right topic. Here, student grades to drop, that's talking about all students. Frank is only talking about Frank. It might be true for Frank, but it's only Frank. So it doesn't really fit the argument. That's one thing. It's appropriate. It supports evidence supports the argument. The study shows that test scores fall as students increase use of the internet because students simply run out of time to do their homework. What they're saying is that students are online so much, maybe playing games, watching YouTube videos, just entertaining themselves, that it gets late and they run out of time and they don't finish their homework. That can have an effect on your grades. An inappropriate evidence is irrelevant. 90% of all families report owning a computer. Okay, well, if you own a computer, it doesn't mean your student is going online to, play games all day long. So it's not really appropriate to the argument. We're not talking about owning computers. We're talking about the use of the internet. And are you using it a little too much? So it applies. It's appropriate to the argument and adequate. Here's the last one. Is there enough evidence? Evidence provides many cases or examples. Adequate evidence provides at least 3 accurate and appropriate examples. Excuse me. So here we're looking for at least 3. That's the general rule. We want 3 examples of evidence. So this Harvard study, they probably did a few things. One of the things they did is they interviewed parents, or they sent out questionnaires. And we would ideally want 2 more sources for our little argument here. Inadequate evidence provides very few cases or examples. So we can go back to Frank. He's only talking about Frank. He's only talking about himself. We don't know what kind of study he did on himself. We're just this is his opinion about what he did and how it's affecting him. So that would be inadequate. Okay, everybody following me so far? Or why am I awaiting still? Check. There we go. Okay, James is there. What about everybody else? Check marks, happy faces. Check marks. Very good. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm out of water. Okay. So let's start breaking this down just a little bit more to make sure everybody understands. Excuse me. Okay, first, when we talk about studies gathering evidence, we're assessing. We're evaluating something. We decided internet use causing grades to drop. Well, let's evaluate this. Let's assess this. Now, does everybody know what assess means? Check mark, happy face, just if you think you know what assess means. Okay, a couple of check marks. Okay, good. Okay, so let's review what assess means. We have it in our heads. We know what it is. We think we know what it is. Let's make sure. So assess, it just means to evaluate or estimate the nature, ability, or quality of something. In this case, we're talking about internet use. Is it good or bad? We're kind of assessing it. We decide we want to make a decision, whether it's good or bad. And then we could base our future plans for school, internet use, on our assessments. I'm sorry, guys. This is driving me nuts. Okay. Hopefully we'll get a little bit better. See, it's a little better for y'all. So, and assessing is something that we actually do all the time. We evaluate things all the time. It's what we base our opinions, a lot of our actions, the very simple things, okay? I like Spam. I didn't always like Spam. I had to try it first. I like the taste. I like the texture. I like mixing it. I usually eat it in the morning for breakfast. If I'm going to have it, I'll chop it up and I'll make it with my eggs and some hash brown. So I evaluated Spam based on taste, texture, and the fact that you can find it just about anywhere and it lasts forever. I evaluated it and I assessed it and I decided I like Spam, so I eat Spam. We do it all the time. Can you guys think of a few things you guys have assessed? Keep in mind what I just said. My example. Okay, if you guys can think of something that you have, put it in chat, write it on the board, or if you want to use the mic, let me know. I'll turn on your microphones. Better. Anybody at all? You guys were there a minute ago. Where'd everybody go? Oh, sorry. I forgot to turn on your tools. My fault. Okay, tools are on. I'm waiting. Anything you guys have evaluated? Like I said, we do it all the time. Over the weekend, the Golden Globes were on. Me and my wife were talking, comparing notes, what movies we liked over the year. So we were actually doing it between ourselves. And we started thinking about which movies we liked. And then we had a broad discussion over our favorite movies of all time. And that got really odd. Food. Yeah, we evaluate and assess food all the time. We like it. We don't like it. We like Del Taco burritos better than Taco Bell burritos, but not as much as homemade burritos. We like tamales from Costco. We like, who sells them now? Someone just started selling them not too long ago, but I assessed all of them. I really did. And the lady down the street, she makes the best tamales. I assessed them, and I made a decision on which ones I'm going to go purchase more often. We do it all the time. Movies, games. If you have a favorite game, that means you have actually assessed various games, and this is the one you play the most because you enjoy it the most. Try to see Seamus. Seamus typing something. I'm just letting I see someone typing something on it. See if it's applicable to the discussion. Shocking. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's what you meant, but when you go shopping, try on different clothes, see how they fit, see how they look, you're evaluating. What clothes to wear exactly? You're assessing, in a way, you're assessing all the different clothes and deciding what's best for you. And now, what we're gonna kind of slide that into how we assess evidence for an essay, for an argument that we're creating. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna look around for different sources, and we decide which one is best for our purposes. One of the things we have to make sure we understand is, hold on. Hi, Baron. We have to make sure we understand the difference between fact and opinion. So we're going back to making sure that our facts, our evidence is appropriate to the argument. Does somebody want to read? No one feels like reading? Oh, that's odd. No one at all? No one? No one? No one? Yeah, I knew someone would come through. Okay, Shayla, let me turn on your microphone. There you go. Okay, go ahead.
Ma.
Yes, let her know you're reading.
Okay. Fact or opinion? Fact. A fact is always supported by one or more shred of evidence. Yes.
Doing great.
A fact is true and correct for everyone, no matter what. Opinion. An opinion holds an element for belief or viewpoint which hasn't been validated or proven yet.
Very good. Validated or proven. We go back to went too fast. We go back to accurate evidence. Frank told me his grades have gone up because he uses the internet office. None of this has been proven. It's just what he's telling us. We haven't seen his grades. Who knows why he might say it if it's not true, or he has a different understanding of grades than most of us do. Sometimes they're just perfectly happy. I got all C's. I am doing great, and it's because of the internet. Whereas other students are saying, C's, I'm getting A's, and we have a different scale. So we have to make sure all of that matches. So, here, I have two little things here. Fact or opinion. A favorite game. Now, for favorite game, who wants our tools on? If you want, type on the left side what your favorite game is. And favorite game, it might be, like Sherman says, it might be a fact for you. You evaluated all the games you played, da, da, da. What if I'm writing an essay? Well, now I'm writing something. There we go. Now I'm going to write a paper on games and everyone. So do I want to know favorite game, or am I going to change it to most popular game? Got to kind of make a decision here. Now, if I'm including, it's going to be hard to pick favorite because everyone has their different ideas and different tastes. But I think if I'm going to gather data, my paper should be about most popular game. For here, you guys all have your favorite games, and it doesn't take a whole lot of research to figure it out. You play a few games. Some of you like Halo, Gears of War, I don't know what FNAF is. Yes. So here, it's very easy for everybody to have an opinion, thank you, Caitlin, about what their favorite game is. If I'm going to look at most popular game, I'm going to have to do some research. I'm going to have to gather facts. am I going to gather? If you have an idea, go ahead and put it in chat, or you can write it up on here. I'm still in NBA. Well, let's stick to video games. I'm sorry. Let me write that in. I'm sorry. That was my mistake. I should have wrote video games. So, if I'm going to try to figure out what the most popular games are, I got to start gathering some facts. I got to do some research. So, what am I going to do? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it's time. Well, you know what I can do? It's a long shot. But I actually did something like this a long time ago. It actually worked. Maybe I could send an email to various game companies that have, I mean, such as, well, whoever put that on there, Fortnite, whoever does Fortnite, I could send them a letter. I could send them an email if you request information. So I could email Blizzard, the guys that make World of Warcraft, and I could ask them, how many people use your game? How many people at the end of the year have accounts? World of Warcraft accounts, Fortnite accounts, or any way you guys have measuring how many people play your game. And then I just, whichever game has the most players, I could say that's the most popular game. I've gathered evidence, I've done some research, and I'm going to present it in my essay. I can also look up statistics. If you're really into games, you can go in, you can track this stuff down, and just find the statistics, who published the statistics, and cite that as a source. That's another way to gather evidence. Or gather evidence. So I can just use statistics. I'm just going to write stats, because I think I'm going to forget. Published stats, I should say. Published. Right. And I just cite that as a source. If I'm emailing, I want to get that person's name and cite them as a source. We all cite our sources. Okay, but we make it a point to differentiate between fact and opinion. If we're writing a paper, we want facts. So we want to go to someone and get that source and see what they say, and we're going to work with that. We can write opinions all day long, but because everyone has a different opinion, if we don't have facts to support the opinions, then they're just opinions, and they don't really support our argument. We have to make sure that our evidence is appropriate. It's a fact, it's published, someone's done a study, and our source is reliable. We're not going to cite an article that just says written by staff. They don't want to put their names down. I'm not going to use it as a source. May not be very accurate. That is a paper that probably holds a lot of opinion and no fact. Okay? Everybody following? Everybody understand so far? Any questions? I see we're still putting down favorite games. Uno is actually a pretty good game. I have fun playing Uno. I don't do any of these other ones. I used to play a lot of Monopoly when I was younger with my brothers. It never ended well, so we stopped playing. But we were actually. Life lessons. Okay, so. Everybody with me so far? Do I have any questions? Check marks, happy faces. Got a League of Legends. League of Legends is actually big. It's a lot bigger than I thought. So, okay, good. Looks like everybody understands. So, let's go. One more time. Anybody feel like reading this one? Clear these. Okay, I'll read it. It's no big deal. Okay, when asked why he thinks that hot dogs are better than salads, Joey said, because they're just better. So, we talked about this one before. I copied past lesson. Hi, Linnea. Did Joey do a good job of proving his argument? Nobody? When you're there, you can write in chat. I'm going to say no. No, he didn't. But then again, Joey probably doesn't know that his friend wants. It's okay, Lanier. Joey probably didn't realize his friend wanted him, present evidence. He's just having a discussion. And that's how most of these things go. We just have a discussion. We've done a little bit of assessing in the past, and we've formed an opinion, and we offer. But Joey doesn't. They're just better. He doesn't tell us why. We at least want to know why. A little bit of evidence would be nice. So Joey needs to provide more evidence to why he thinks hot dogs are better than salad. Now, we're generally not going to talk to our friends and say, what do you think is better? And then hold them to, you got to provide me some evidence, although it can be fun. It could make for some interesting discussions with your friends when you start doing stuff like that. But, exactly, this is Joey's opinion. Thank you very much. Whoever wrote that. This is an opinion. And we want to make sure that we differentiate between opinion and fact. Thank you very much. Okay, so which of the following is an example of accurate evidence? And this one can be a little tricky. The newspaper reported that crime has decreased by 5% in our neighborhood. Me and my sister has noticed that there has been no crime recently. Again, this is one from before. Let's go over it a little bit better now. And which one is better? Which one gives us more accurate evidence? You can put it in chat, right on the board. One of the two. I know you guys were there. Oh, someone bucks. Okay, A. Someone went with A. Anybody agree? Disagree? Number 2 is with A. Let's get one more. One more response. Okay, there were a next response. Thank you, sir. Yeah, A is probably better. Now, let's talk about why. Why is A better? We talked about a few things that might give us an explanation as to why A is better. Anybody have an idea? Why do you think A is better? Better detail. That's one. Why else? Why else do we think A is better? The newspaper, so we have a good source. The source is different. It's probably a reliable source. We have to know from, our past lessons that reliable newspapers, journals, magazines, they don't just provide information. They don't make it up. They do the same thing we're studying right now. They make sure they're using reliable sources before they print an article. And that gives us the ability to cite them as well. So there's two good reasons. So yeah, and I like those both. Reliable source, the newspaper. More detail. Well, they're talking about crime is decreased by 5%. So that means they probably went to maybe a local law enforcement agency, or they did their own survey, and they did their research, and they published it in the article. So this is probably A is probably a better example of accurate evidence. Now, let's talk about B, though. Why is it better than B? Well, we can say it's because of the same reasons. Horse, the source here, is this person's sister. Now, that doesn't mean she's not trustworthy, but she's only one person. And we don't know what kind of means she used to come to that decision. But we do know she's noticed that there's been no crime recently. Well, that's pretty good. I mean, if she's an honest person, someone we can rely on, that's good. But we're looking for what's going on in our neighborhood. Has our sister gone through the entire neighborhood? And what time is she out? We talked about this before. Chances are she's only noticed things where she is and hasn't really traveled the whole neighborhood. And she isn't out in the early morning, afternoon, evening, and late evening. So we don't know what time she's out. She's probably not getting a good, accurate picture of the neighborhood at all hours. So we're kind of assessing her information. We're assessing where she got that information and how it applies. And it's good. I would trust my sister, but I also know, my sister's not wandering around all hours of the night. So A is probably the better source. It's definitely the more accurate example of evidence. Okay? Everybody understand? Any questions? No? No questions? All right. Thank you, James. Okay. And we actually see this evidence in a lot of different places. Assessing the evidence to support an author's argument will help you defend what you believe. So what if someone told you soda was bad for you and you drank it every day? Would you maybe consider to stop drinking soda if they gave you the following evidence? And here we have a little paragraph that gives us a lot of information about sodas. Is it accurate evidence? Is it good evidence? Well, you can't see, it's already underlined, but the National Diabetes Association, they quote the National Diabetes Association. And we can see by the underlined parts, they've actually done some research. They're giving us pretty good evidence. They know how many calories are in a soda, how much sugar is in a soda, and how much it all adds up to at the end of the year. That's a lot of calories. Good evidence. Now, for some of us, we really like the taste of soda. It may not be enough to convince us, but at least we have the information, and we know what we get ourselves into every time we crack one of those things open. We just hope our wives don't see this, because cut off again. Anyway. I think you guys got a handle on this. We're a little skeptical. So with you guys, in summation, we're going to close up now. I'd just like to give you a good example. Write it in chat, write it on the whiteboard. What do you think is the difference between appropriate evidence and accurate evidence? I'll put it in chat or whiteboard. It's just a short sentence, an idea, an example. What do you think is the difference between appropriate evidence and accurate evidence? Oh, that's a mistake. I just noticed that right there. That's supposed to say inaccurate or something like that. Or inappropriate. I was in a hurry. I'm sorry. Good evidence and bad evidence. We'll say that.